I hate the word networking. It makes me nervous. It actually makes me sick at my stomach. I get literally nauseous when I hear the word networking. And for so long, this has kept me from actually being able to get out and meet new people. And I grew up an empath, introverted, but I, for years, I faked being an extrovert. My mom raised me to just get out of my comfort zone, to get out there and just do it. And so I did this for years, and specifically in network marketing, I would get out there and just network and network and network, get on the phone, and the result was I would be exhausted, absolutely exhausted. And as an empath and as an introvert, that is just not sustainable. So I want to talk about how you can network in business. And, when I just took the word networking and changed it around, I was able to relax around it. And so I want to talk about how we can do that to make our business fit us. And so the number one thing to do is to take the pressure off right away. Just take the whole networking. I got to network and get a bunch of names every day. And that's how I do my business. Like, just take that pressure off entirely. And, the story that goes around that, at least for many of us, is that we're a bad networker. And so we don't want to do it. We don't want to get out there and do it. I mean, when you get into a crowded room of people, you break out into sweat, you're shaking. It literally puts you into fight or flight, adrenaline mode. It's not fun. And when you're shaking and talking to people and stumbling over your words, that doesn't feel good either. And, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be turned off. They're going to be put on the defensive because of there's just so much tension there going in. And there's no point in that. We as empaths and introverts, we are not bad networkers. We have just been trying to do it like extroverts do it. We've been trying to do it somebody else's way. And so, just the number one thing is, after taking the pressure off, just get that whole idea that you're a bad networker, just trash that, because it's not true. And then what you want to do is just decide for yourself make a quota for yourself. What would be comfortable for a week? It can be something like I'll get out and I'll go to an event that sounds fun to me once a week or twice a week. Whatever your quota is, do that. So if you get an invitation, rather than immediately saying no, just decide if that is within your quota and say, okay, if I do this event, then afterwards I will take time for myself, downtime, to fill myself up and do activities that I enjoy, that fill me, because so many times what we do is we try and do too much social interaction, and we raise our standards so high that we almost set ourselves up for failure. And so it's important for us, especially, to self-care. And, as empaths and as introverts, we need more alone time. And empaths specifically need more time to replenish the soul and to do joyful, fun activities, where we're not with so many people in a room. We're not socially interacting with so many different nervous systems that we're picking up on. So you want to pick a quota that's realistic. You want to pick something that seems doable and that seems like something that you can do consistently. And then just stick with that and try and get it out of the way early on in the week if you can, because then you're not worried about it and you're not pressuring yourself. So, and once that's done, you check it off the list. and then you go into your self-care and your self-pampering and releasing any energy that you may have absorbed, specifically empaths. And the next thing you want to do is, when you do go out to a social interaction, an event, a lunch, a party, you want to focus on finding that one person that is your kindred spirit. And, you know, every event that I've been to, I usually connect with one person, maybe two, and I will end up really bonding with that person and having a deep conversation for the entire event. And that is perfect for introverts. That is perfect for empaths, because you're connecting. For an empath, it's important to connect at a heart level in everything that you do and focus on that self-love in the heart space. And so when you find one person that's a kindred spirit, then you can bond with them, and business might not even come up in that conversation, but you want to focus on connecting with a new friend. And then at the end of the event, you can exchange numbers, and you'll want to stay in contact with this person. You've connected with them, you've bonded with them, and you'll want to keep that going. And an introvert as well is going to be able to talk one-on-one more comfortably than working the whole room. And that takes so much pressure off. I mean, I really used to feel like I needed to make rounds through the whole room and talk to a lot of people, and it just didn't feel natural. Now, if it does feel natural that you want to go and talk to several people, then that is great, but don't expect that of yourself, and don't set that up for yourself. And so this makes it so much easier for me, because I love connecting one-on-one, and I love meeting kindred spirits of like minds that we really can have a deep conversation, more than just small talk and get right into the business and then get their card. You know, that it doesn't feel good energetically. And I remember going to networking events where people were doing that. And as an empath, this to me felt just like a lot of taking energy. And I would want to leave pretty soon after getting there. And so anyway, this is a way to do that and it feel natural. The next thing I want to talk about that you can do is you can find a partner, or you can bring in a team member into your business that is extroverted. And you can partner up with this person and decide, you know, let's do this. I'm willing to do this much social interaction. If you want to do that much, take up the slack, and then I'll do more of the online or at home or the writing. You know, it can look a million different ways. So you can partner up with a team member and actually find out what they like to do. If they're extroverted, what is it that they love doing? It's probably going to parties and being around people. And so that's great. You can actually delegate and you can work together and you can get contacts that way as well. And this is really also smart, because as you're bringing in team members, you can be learning what their strengths are and work with those strengths instead of forcing them to be like somebody else and forcing yourself to be like, or do it like somebody else. And this can be really, really effective, and you can make it fun. And if you get several people working together, then everybody's going to have their strengths, and you can really find this collaboration that works in sync, and it can be tons of fun if you focus on making it fun. So that's another thing. And if you do go to an event, if you are invited to parties and you feel like, you know, for business sake, you should go, just know that you can always leave early. And for me, I used to panic, and if I didn't have my own car, if I didn't have a way to leave and a way to exit if I needed to. So, be sure and get your own ride there, and give yourself permission to leave early. If you start feeling drained, if you're, as an empath, if you start feeling bombarded with too much energy, or if some energy doesn't feel right to you in your gut, give yourself permission to get out of there and clear that energy. And as an introvert in business, you can become quickly drained within a short period of time. And so you'll want to notice that and then give yourself permission to get out of there, and don't apologize for it. Just kindly, politely excuse yourself. And most of the time, actually, all of the times that I've done that, nobody has really cared, and some people don't even notice. Now, if you're the key speaker, then you can make an announcement and get out of there after a few social rounds. You'll kind of feel it out and know when, okay, this is a good break and I can escape at this point, or excuse yourself. Let's see. The other thing is that you want to really, especially as an empath, you want to really focus on your strengths. And as an introvert too, so many of us introverts, we're labeled shy, we're labeled weak, we're labeled all these things as, we're going through life. And empaths, have so many labels that often they put on themselves. So you want to just really find your strength and focus on that. And I want to share a quote by Gandhi. He was very quiet and very gentle. And this quote just really soothes me when I hear it. It says, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." And he did. And we don't have to change ourselves, and we don't have to be like other people. That's just annoying. That is so annoying. It's draining. And I got to the point where I just wouldn't network anymore because I hated it. And with right, because when we are trying to be somebody else, it just doesn't work. And it didn't work for me. And I felt like a phony. So you just got to stop doing that and embrace your gentle side. Embrace your presence. And know, empaths are some of the most powerful creators, manifestors. And all it really takes is for you to believe in your strengths and for you to decide, this is where I thrive. I thrive in feeling into people and sharing deep connections with one person at a time. You find what works. What are you good at? So many introverts are very, very charming in conversation. And so find what your strength is, focus on that, and then create boundaries to sustain yourself and fill yourself up and do it your way. And you don't have to say no to public events. You don't have to say no to public speaking, but you don't have to alter yourself to get on the stage and be jumping up and down and screaming and yelling and getting everybody excited. You don't have to do it that way. You can take the stage as yourself and speak very gently. I think of Adyashanti. He's soft-spoken. He uses a few words and then he'll just sit in silence. And he's so influential and beautiful, and I love listening to him. He does it his way, whereas other speakers might be more dynamic, but that wouldn't work as beautifully as it does for him or for Gandhi. I mean, it's really about embracing who we are, loving it, and then sharing it honestly with people. And I'm comfortable doing videos, so that is a way that I can do it and still have a lot of alone time. But I was nervous at first. I would get very, very nervous before doing any videos at first. And so there are things that you will have to do that are out of your comfort zone slightly and kind of push you over or past your edge. But that's where you bring in that quota, and that's where you design it your way and make it your own, and don't compromise and don't apologize, because in a gentle way you can shake the world. Thanks for watching.